Hey guys, Trevor here with E-commerce Paradise. Today's presentation is going to be all about how does dropshipping work. This is pretty much the ultimate guide to dropshipping. So let's get into it. First of all, I'd just like to let you guys know that dropshipping, you need to keep it simple. You need to understand the foundations and really focus on the basics. A lot of people try to do all sorts of crazy stuff all over the place on the web. Really, it's just all about the basics. Just keep these 7 steps in your mind throughout the process, and whenever you get a crazy hair about doing something, just come back to the basics and focus on them. All right, so the first step in the dropshipping system is product niche selection. So first thing is you got to start by understanding that you need to build a niche specific store. You can't be the next Amazon or Walmart, and you're definitely not going to have the resources to build any kind of general store. So focus on building a niche site. This means choosing one product category, one vertical, and building out an entire store just around that one vertical. So some tips for niche selection I have for you is to choose products that are at least $500 or more in value. And the reason there is because when you choose a more expensive product, you get more profit from each sale. So for instance, if you chose products that were around the $100 range, you would only make maybe $10 to $20 per sale. But if you choose $500 products or up, then you'll make around $50 to $100 per sale. And if you choose $1,000 or $2,000 products or up, you'll be making $200 to $400 or $600 per sale. We have sales that are $2,000 to $3,000 sometimes, and we make $1,000 on that sale. So it's way more worth your time and energy to build a store around selling more expensive products than it is to build a store around selling cheaper products, because it takes about the same amount of work to sell expensive products than it does to sell cheap products. So when you're researching niches online, number 3, it's there should be competitors. You definitely don't want to go into a niche if there's no competition or very little competition, because it might mean that it'll be hard to start in that niche, or that there just isn't selling online for whatever reason. So it's good to have competitors, but there shouldn't be like 50 plus competitors. If there are, it's definitely going to be harder to stand out. The cost per click for paid ads is going to be higher. And it's just going to be more generally harder to convert people, because they're going to have so many different options for places they can go to buy that product. So try to find a niche with a few competitors. 10 or less is great, maybe even 20 or less. But once you get up there, it's going to be harder to compete. But even though there's competition, that doesn't mean you can't compete. It just means it's going to be harder to compete. So you have to look at your competition more. You're going to have more competitors to diagnose and see, or to analyze and see how they do their marketing and how you can be better than them. All right, number 4, are there more brands than just the big players, and are they dropship friendly? That's really important, because if you look at a niche like computers, you want to make sure there's more brands than just like Apple and Toshiba and Lenovo, right? If there's a lot of smaller computer names out there, then that would be a good niche. But since the computer niche is saturated by these big brand names, it's going to be harder to get on board with them, because they're so big. They've probably already taken on big distributors that sell their products to retailers. But this model, we want to sell directly from the manufacturer to the end consumer. So you have to get accounts with manufacturers. So it has to be a niche where the brands are small enough still to where they're willing to work with an online retail e-commerce professional store to get their products in front of end consumers and sell them directly and ship directly one at a time to end consumers, right? So if the industry is like really big, like one of them for an example is the lock and security industry. There's a lot of products in there. You'll find them on Home Depot or all these other websites, and it's a very difficult niche to get into, because a lot of the manufacturers are so big and they sell so many products, they only sell through distribution, because distributors are these huge warehouses, multi-warehouses throughout the United States in that industry, and they sell tons of products, and they're the only ones that are allowed to order custom one item at a time orders, and they have to go through the distributors. There are some smaller manufacturers, but usually they don't work with anybody that's actually not in the specific trade, right? So it's not a good niche to get into. All right, and then the other part of number 4 is, are they dropship friendly? So you have to make sure that there's other online retailers out there that don't have a storefront that are selling those products online. So go to those websites. Actually, I'm going to show you later in this video, but how to figure out if someone's dropship friendly. So let's get to number 5. Number 5 is that you want to target a market with disposable income. You don't want to have a market that is broke college students or teenagers, millennials. You want to be targeting people that make a lot of money, maybe $100,000 per year or more, and have lots of disposable income to spend. Because if you're going to sell expensive products, you need to make sure it's people that have plenty of money in their savings account to afford those expensive products, and it's not the last dollar that they're going to spend. So the baby boomer generation that has lots of disposable income is generally speaking the best target market to target with your store, so just keep that in mind. If your niche is targeted towards baby boomers, it's most likely going to be successful. So at the end of this, you just want to find one good niche and just move on. And you don't want to be stuck on the niche selection process for too long, because the issue is that you might just get analysis paralysis and never be able to move on. So you really just want to choose a niche that meets all those criteria good enough, and then get going with it, because you need to get practice with this. Don't expect your first niche to be super successful. It might not be super successful, but if you can get some traction with it and you can grow, you can start another site and another site. And as you learn marketing more and more and how e-commerce works, you'll be able to choose better niches in the future and build bigger sites as well. All right, guys, so the next step in the drop shipping program is market research. So a lot of this niche selection is market research, but this is where you're going to really dive in and find those dropship competitors, the competitors that only do drop shipping, they don't have a storefront. And the reason you want to find those, again, is because the suppliers that sell through dropship only competitors will sell for new sites as well, usually. So the suppliers that sell only with people that have storefronts will sometimes not sell to you if you do not have a storefront, okay? So to find those dropship only competitors, you can simply use Google ads, Google product listing ads, the ones that show up at the top of the screen that have the pictures and the prices associated with them. Those are the greatest ads to look for to find dropship only competitors, because they usually use those ads to sell. So check out that. It's called Google Shopping. If you want to just click the shopping tab, you should find them too. And the way you find them usually is, since you want to look for niche sites, right? So niche sites means they have the name, usually the name of that product or a similar name or synonym of that name in their store URL. So it'll be like something direct, like with the lock industry, it'd be like locksdirect.com or something. That would be an example. So look for niche sites and then go to their site and go down into their contact page or about page or the footer of the website and look for an address. If there is an address, put it up into Google and see if it's a house or an apartment. If it is, then it's probably a dropship only competitor. But if it's a warehouse or some sort of an office space or a flex space, then it might be a not dropship only competitor, or it might be a competitor that has moved on and bought an office space or warehouse space in order to be able to sell more brands than just the dropship only brands, dropship friendly brands. So keep that in mind. Now, when you do find a website that has an address listed that's a house or an apartment, you can extract all their suppliers. So you just simply create a spreadsheet and then take all the names of the brands on their website and put them into that spreadsheet. And the way you can do that is they usually have like a brands page or a brands drop-down menu. So just find those and put them in there. All right, and then now you've chosen your niche and you found all the suppliers and your future competitors, it's time to create your website. So the reason why we don't go out and get suppliers first is because you need a website in order to get suppliers in this day and age. It's very difficult to recruit a supplier unless you actually have a website, because your website is kind of like your storefront. So there's no way you're going to be able to get a supplier by just calling them and seeing if they would sell with you. So create your website first. So the first thing is, well, I just said that. But the second thing is you can't get approved without. I just said that too. They don't want to just work with anyone, and they want to see a website to make sure you're legit. Why buy from us? Unique. Okay, so number 4 is the important part here. I just said all those 1 through 3. Number 4 is the why buy from us unique selling proposition. So that's a really important part. You have to understand that the only way you're going to set yourself apart from the rest of their dealers that they already have is a unique selling proposition and an about page and a why buy from us section. So you really need to focus on that. And in my paid courses I'm going to have in the future, I'm actually going to provide templates for all the different things that we provide as reasons why we're better than our competitors. And you can take those and use those in your own store. Now, I haven't created that course yet, but I will in the future. And when I do, I'll be providing a link in the description of this video. The why buy from us and unique selling proposition is the most important part, and it will get you suppliers, and it will also win you customers in the future. So once you've created your website, all you need to do is simply start calling the suppliers. Now, just keep in mind, emailing suppliers sometimes works, but most of the time, they will need to be, you will need to call them over the phone, because that establishes more trust, because now you're a real person, and they can tell by the tone of your voice how old you are and how experienced you are and how confident you are. So you can call them, and then usually the way it works is they will send you a dealer application, or you will have to email them and send them your seller's permit and a little bit more about you first, and then they'll send you the dealer application. But once you get the dealer application, fill it out as soon as you can and send it back, and you'll get approved, and ask them to confirm your approval. And then you'll need to ask for a price sheet, UPC codes, high quality images, videos, and the product description. Once you have all that information from them, you can go ahead and list those on the website and improve your website. So the next step is optimizing your website for conversions, right? So before you really get into the deep optimization part, you're going to have to upload all the products. You're going to have to create pages for all the different parts of your website, and I'll be including that in the courses as well. And you'll need to create blog posts like buyer's guides and stuff like that. And but once you get all that stuff done, the most important step is to optimize your site for conversions, because you can send a bunch of traffic to your site, and even if you do randomly get some organic traffic or social media traffic, you're not going to convert any customers or any of these leads to customers without going through these 4 important steps first. So the first step is to establish trust with your leads. So that means having a shopping guarantee, having a satisfaction guarantee, having a low price guarantee, having trust signals like secure badges on your website, having your address and phone number clearly listed. So there's a lot of ways to establish trust with your website, and I'm going to create a whole course super in depth on conversion rate optimization, and it will have all that stuff in there. Now, the second thing is social proof. Social proof is very important. Social proof includes reviews and testimonials and social media. So reviews for products, reviews for your store, and then testimonials for your services, and then having your social media platforms up with a bunch of followers and likes. That all establishes a social proof for future leads, because no one wants to buy from a store that's empty, right? Everybody wants to buy from a store that has lots of sales. There's lots of other ways to establish social proof. Some of the really optimized Shopify themes have those, and I will be doing a whole thing on that as well. All right, the third way to optimize your website for conversions is with an email marketing abandoned cart sequence. The abandoned cart is the most important part, because when someone reaches your cart and then disappears, you can send them emails, and those emails will probably convert the lead if you set them up correctly. So I'll be doing a whole course on that as well. And then you can also set up a lead capture sequence. And lead capture just basically means you offer somebody something in return for their email. Usually it's a discount or a guide of some sort. And then you can follow up with them with a series of emails to ask them what they're interested in, and then you can sell them on that product or service. And then, of course, you want to set up your new customer thank you email series. That's a very important thing. You want to let them know, what is going to happen after they order, how soon your order is going to ship out, what if there's any assembly, what the assembly process is like, and all your terms and conditions as well. And then you want to definitely set up an upsell sequence. Upselling means that you're going to provide accessories or some sort of warranty, or any other kind of service that you can provide along with that product. You want to send them those offers by email as well, so they have a chance to make their experience even better. The last way you can optimize your website for conversions is urgency and scarcity. Urgency basically means that you only have a few left in stock, and they better order now or it's going to be out. That's urgency. And then that's scarcity. So scarcity is, there's only a few left in stock. It's scarce, right? And that builds demand. Urgency is where you have some sort of a sale going on, and they have to buy now in order to take advantage of that sale. It's going to end in a few hours or something. So countdown timers and expiring coupon codes is a great way to do urgency, and that's one way to close out sales on your website. So once you've set up your website and optimized it for conversions, you have all the products up, blog posts, all that stuff, you can start driving traffic to your website. Especially with Shopify, it's hard to get traffic at first, right? So you can try doing a lot of free stuff, but it's going to take a long time. So I suggest the best way to start with traffic is Google AdWords. Google AdWords is the best for e-commerce, especially high-ticket products, because it only shows products to people that are actually looking to buy them, and it only shows products to people, if you have it set up right, according to the keywords they put in. So if they put in like a product-based query, then it will show a product that is related to that query from your store in a picture format and with the price and your store name and a special offer. And that's the Google product listing ad. That's one part of AdWords. AdWords also includes search text ads, which include just text in the search results at the very top. And then it also includes retargeting ads in the form of dynamic retargeting ads that shows products, and it can also show banner ads. So there's all different ways to do Google AdWords, and I suggest starting with Google product listing ads for an e-commerce store. I'll have an entire course on that as well. Facebook ads and retargeting are another great way to do it, and I round out my sales funnel with that. Facebook ads show up as dynamic retargeting ads, so it only shows the products they actually showed on your e-commerce store. And it's really important because a lot of people go back to their Facebook feed at the end of the day, and when your products pop up, it might be catching them at a good time, and they might be ready to buy. So it's a good place for them to see you. And the more more marketing touches you have with your customer, with your potential customers, the more likely it is they make a purchase. And marketing, the rule of the game is that you have to have 7 touches with a customer. So you got to do the ads, the retargeting, and the emails. Those are the touches. All right, and then for free traffic, you definitely want to work on your SEO. Search engine optimization is important. So you want to have your website clearly linked to all the pages, have a sitemap up, have your meta description tags, and have your title and description optimized for keywords. And there's a lot of great ways to do that. I'm going to make an entire course on that so I can help you guys out. And then that's going to wind up getting you rankings in the organic search results in Google and Bing and Yahoo, and that will result in free traffic going to your website. And the best thing about organic search traffic is people tend to trust it more, and they stay on your website longer, and the conversion rate is usually much higher than just paid ads. All right, and then social media marketing is another great way to do it. A lot of people start out doing this, and you should start out doing it because that helps build social proof and trust, but social media marketing should be used, generally speaking, as a brand building device, not necessarily to get sales. So you want to communicate with your customers, hang out with them, start conversations with them, all that good stuff. You want them to share and like and follow. And you really just want to be a part of the crowd and build a place where people can come and hang out. So there's many ways to do that. Facebook obviously is the first one, with a Facebook page and a Facebook group related to your niche. You can do Twitter, you should do Pinterest, especially if it's a niche in the women's world. And YouTube is the other one. YouTube is a search engine and a social media site. So you can use that to target keywords and make videos about your products, and then optimize with the tags and the description. And you can use that on your own website as well. So once you're getting traffic and you start making your first sales, the next step with dropshipping and e-commerce is to start creating those systems and processes so that you can eventually start outsourcing your work to virtual assistants. And systems and processes are pretty easy to make. You just need to write down every single thing you do, and then film and record videos while you do those things, and then upload them to YouTube in probably like an unlisted video in a playlist on a YouTube channel. And then you'll be able to hire a virtual assistant, and I recommend doing it in the Philippines with a website called onlinejobs.ph. And you can outsource all of your daily tasks to these virtual assistants, and they will do them for you. And daily tasks include things like customer service and sales, and they can include managing your AdWords account. It can include creating content for your website, doing keyword research, and include doing social media marketing, and of course things you don't like to do, like adding products and things like that. All right, guys. Well, you can learn more for free at freedropshipcourse.com. It's a free mini course to get you started with dropshipping. And from there, of course, please join the e-commerce paradise community by subscribing to our channel. Check out our podcast, and if you have any questions, definitely comment below, and I'm happy to help. Hope you guys enjoyed this presentation, and I'll see you guys out there. Take care.